A Democrat state senator in Arizona is getting criticized online after lecturing a former NCAA volleyball player supporting a bill to protect women's sports. Watch.
You grew up one way. I grew up a different way. I would have taken on a man in a heartbeat. I played in, I was the only girl sometimes in men's sports. But to have a man on my team, I would have welcomed it, but this is just my opinion. So it just depends on the sports mentality of that individual. A whole community of women's sports in one category. How competitive do you think you really are?
Yeah, that was Arizona State Senator Catherine Miranda at a hearing last week. Her words were directed at former Utah State star athlete Kaylee Ray, who competed against trans volleyball player Blair Fleming a few years ago. Here to discuss is research fellow with the Heritage Foundation and senior fellow with Americans for Fair Treatment, Corey DeAngelis, friend of the show. Thank you for joining me. What was that all about?
She's trying to do whatever she can to back her trans activists that helped her get into office. It's insane how she's just trying to say to a girl that you should just be more competitive, try harder, you should welcome men competing against you. That's like saying that little 8-year-old boys playing football should welcome competition from 20-year-old men. That would obviously lead to safety concerns, which is what's happening with girls' sports. You have men competing against them. There are safety issues there. We've seen volleyball players get hurt because of boys playing in girls' sports. And look, the boys can still play sports at their schools if they want. They can just play on the boys' team. It's pretty basic, simple biological reality. Yet you have Democrats have gone so far off the deep end with this transgender insanity agenda that they're willing to put girls at risk, and it's got to stop.
Well, we know it's a political loser for them, so keep riding that train, I say to Democrats, because it's not a winner. But now I'm going to shift gears to Virginia. There's outrage in Fairfax County right now, in Fairfax County, Virginia, after an 18-year-old student who is an illegal immigrant has been charged with groping several girls at a Fairfax County high school. The student, Israel Flores Ortez, is almost 19, but is in the 11th grade. He reportedly entered the county illegal in 2024 from El Salvador, but was released by the Biden administration and now cosplays as a high school student. I think 12 of the girls that he accosted went to the school and reported it, but the school ignored the reports, brushed them under the rug. Now he has an ICE detainer out on him, and Fairfax County is refusing to release him to ICE. What do you make of this story?
It just goes to show you the danger of the previous administration's Joe Biden's open border agenda hurting kids in schools. And I wrote a piece about this just today, arguing that the Supreme Court needs to overturn their half-a-century-old decision called the Plyler decision, which forces states and their taxpayers to fund the education of illegal immigrants. It is beyond baffling to me that this is still on the books today, where we spend $20,000 a kid. You do the quick math on that from a K-12 education. That's $260,000 that taxpayers are being forced to fund for the education of an illegal immigrant. That just creates this cycle of dependence, and it creates a magnet for more illegals to come in to get more goodies and taxpayer benefits. And we've got to put a stop to it. Thankfully, there's some states like Tennessee's House today is hearing a bill to try to put a stop to these things, at least start by reporting how many illegal immigrants are in their schools. And their Senate in Tennessee has a separate bill they've already passed to allow local school districts to no longer enroll and be forced to pay for illegal immigrants' education. Obviously, the teachers' unions are all on board with more illegals in the school system because that means more money for them.
Yeah, it drives up their numbers. Corey DeAngelis, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kelly. Great talking to you.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.